On June 25th, we have the Cancer new moon at 4 degrees of Cancer, where the sun and the moon are conjunct, and they are conjunct Jupiter in Cancer this year too. In fact, this is the only new moon exactly conjunct Jupiter newly into Cancer. So you want to identify where you have 3 and 4 degrees of Cancer in your chart as a big, buoyant, perhaps even emotional new beginning is here that is meant to unfold over this next lunar cycle. Now, Jupiter brings in more wisdom, growth, and spiritual protection. Think of how Jupiter is the biggest planet in our solar system and protects Earth from asteroids, meteors, all those crazy things flying out there in space. Jupiter provides that level of protection not only to Earth, but to our energy fields. So there is a protected new start here, spiritually guided and also designed for emotional growth. And that's because Cancer is the first water sign of the zodiac. It is cardinal water, and it's designed to move you forward into new areas of development, self-awareness, personal understanding. There's an emphasis here on where you're ready to trust yourself more. The Cancer energy is receptive, feminine, internal. There could be a need here to also want to be left alone, to do your own thing, and to see what comes alive within you when you trust more of what you're feeling and sensing. So this emphasized energy in Cancer is really important because when we have a focal point on a sign, there's also a softening here, a softening into how you really feel, what is really in your energy. We move away from the busyness of Gemini, where there's a lot going on in multiple directions, a lot to be aware of, to stay in contact with. It could be a frenzied energy. And as we move into Cancer season, with not only, of course, the sun and the moon here in Cancer, but now Jupiter, you might be ready to come home to yourself in a whole new way and feel inspired around what that could be, what that means, what feels right now. So this really is bringing us into what we are truly needing, which is a Cancer energy. What do you need right now? And to move forward with beautiful trust in the process, because that Jupiter protective field is giving you a sense of, yes, I can do this. This feels right. I'm trusting where this goes. I'm trusting what I need. There could also be a stronger energy flow that you're feeling as well, and that's what's guiding you into whatever you're moving towards. Now, this can again be, I'm ready for a break. I'm ready to do less, and I'm going to give myself that downtime. I'm going to give myself less on the calendar or less commitments. And that's also how you honor the Cancer energy, because this is where you're meant to go with what feels right and not be too much in the mind, not be too strict with yourself, but to open up. And that's part of what I'm feeling here with this strong Cancer new moon is, what are you ready to open up to that maybe you've been disconnected from? This could be personally, parts of yourself, but this could be something in your life, something in your world that you're realizing, I didn't know I wanted that. I didn't know that was important to me, but now I'm feeling like it is. So this is a powerful new moon conjunct Jupiter. And Jupiter, of course, is about abundance, growth. It allows us to feel good about what we are choosing and what we want next. It's optimistic. Jupiter is good fortune. So there could be fortunate new developments here as well with this Cancer new moon. Now, we've got to also bring into the story the fact that these 3 planets in Cancer are still in a square to Saturn and Neptune at 1 and 2 degrees of Aries. Now, we've been talking about this square because it became exact with the 3rd Jupiter-Saturn square June 15th, and then Jupiter squared Neptune June 18th. So this energy has already been in play. And there's that tension between what you want and what feels good, and then assessing, is this really me? How do I create it and build it? If I have this big new dream, is it plausible? Is it going to happen? And these energies being in the early degrees of Aries and the early degrees of Cancer are pushing us out of a comfort zone into a new start, which is these planets in Aries, but we're not quite sure what it looks like or what it means. And there's an energy here that's whispering to us that you might not have the full story until next year. And that's because even though Saturn and Neptune are in Aries, both are going to re-enter Pisces. So we're getting a sample here, a taste of what can be created, of what's to come. And it's moving us into some new options in our lives. And Saturn is about, what do I need to prepare? What do I need to take care of? Where do I need to be responsible for this new start? And Neptune is, well, let's go bigger with this possibility. Let's move it into higher realms of what is lifting you forward. Neptune doesn't have feet on the ground here. And there could be a sense of, well, I have this big dream or this next vision of myself, what I could do in my life or in the world. Also a new connection to who I am now, which is part of what Saturn and Neptune are forming in the early degrees of Aries. It's saying, well, yes, this is the new potentials of who you came here to be. So let's give it a test drive. Let's just see how this is going. But then the planets go back into Pisces so that we can finish and clear out whatever is remaining that's holding us back. So this is an interesting new moon because it's meant to connect your emotional frequency with what you want next. It's asking you to commit to your intuition, commit to a larger than life possibility, and commit to it with your emotional intention. This could bring up where you're still going back and forth in yourself. This could bring up, well, I don't know if this is 100% it, but it's 80%. This could show you what needs to be taken care of. Saturn is also introducing us to not only new parts of ourselves, but to new skills we need to learn. Where we've got to be very realistic about, okay, what's this going to be? How's this going to work? What's going to happen with this, whatever this is? I mean, think of it in terms of a new job, or, you're moving into a new industry or a new way of life. It changes what you've experienced up till now. And then there's a part of you that's realizing, okay, but what do I need to be well equipped for that new beginning or this new chapter or next phase? And so we have this big Cancer energy that is feeling good and is ready because of how buoyant the energy might be. But then there's this other part of ourselves that's like, well, I get it in terms of where I want to go and where I'm ready to move outside of a comfort zone. It's like this feeling of I'm on board, but there's still stuff to do. Or what do I need to do? And it slows down that maybe it's emotional impulsiveness or it's like a movement forward that you want to make. And then there's a part of the energy that says, but I need to handle this, or I need to take care of this, or I need to be aware of these other parts of my life that are still in front of me. And so this is a new moon that wants you to align, again, with that emotional frequency of what you want and where you're going, while also knowing that, okay, over here, I've got to take care of these things that aren't going to go away, but I am realigning with a new vision, a new dream. I mean, it's very hopeful. It's very uplifting. It's meant to feel good. But there's some things here that we understand, okay, I've got to not let the emotional swell run away with the show. The energies in Cancer are supported by Mars and Virgo in a sextile at 4 degrees, which is the how. Mars and Virgo brings in the practical process. I do this, I do this, I do this. This is the game plan. And so that provides a nice stability here into what you want to move towards, create, or perhaps even develop a plan for now. Now, I do have a video for you here on YouTube going through the Cancer new moon even more, but I just wanted to share more of these thoughts with you because this new moon picks up the same energies of that Jupiter-Saturn square that we've been talking about, and you could have a sense of greater emotional clarity around what you want next. So I hope it brings you some beautiful breakthroughs, gifts, abundant developments, as Jupiter is known for. And I hope it also gives you a sense of, yes, this is what matters to me now, especially at your heart. I was going to say at your heart space, in your heart space, because it's meant to expand what you love and what feels good. So I hope that those are some of the developments that show up for you here with this Cancer new moon.